Welcome to another true romance scam video, featuring Ava's personal account of her experience with online romance fraud, as told in the ebook, Catfished in the Virgin Islands, a true online romance scam. Today, Ava shares 10 lies presented by a cybercriminal she mistakenly believed to be a potential partner. Let's explore how these deceits impacted her.
Have you or someone you know ever encountered a romance scammer? My personal journey was both emotionally draining and humiliating, unveiling the reality behind the facade of the charming soldier I was captivated by. For those unfamiliar, romance scams, formerly known as romance fraud, involve deceitful tactics, where an individual adopts a false identity to forge a romantic relationship online, ultimately aiming to swindle the victim. These fraudsters build trust and emotional bonds over time, spanning from weeks to years, only to exploit these connections for financial gain under false pretenses of medical emergencies, travel expenses, or investment opportunities. Romance fraud is a serious crime that can cause severe emotional and financial damage to its victims. Romance scammers are compulsive liars and manipulators, weaving a web of deceit to emotionally engage and financially exploit their victims. Here are 10 things my romance scammer lied about, which are common lies told by many romance fraudsters.
1. Military deployment.
He claimed to be serving in the U.S. Army and backed up his assertion with a variety of photos and videos. I later learned that these were stolen from a real soldier's social media profile, skillfully chosen to fulfill my specific photo requests. For instance, if he mentioned he was in bed and requested a selfie, he could immediately provide one. Similarly, if he said he had gone for a run, he could send a photo that showed him sweaty, on the road, dressed in running gear. When I eventually uncovered the deception, I confronted him. He confessed to having scammed the very soldier from whom he was stealing images, by pretending to be a woman. This deceit allowed him access to a wide range of pictures, including some unlikely to be shared publicly on social media. Throughout our interactions, the scammer frequently requested photos from me. At the time, I believed his interest was genuine admiration, not realizing he was gathering a collection of my images, likely to use them in future scams against other unsuspecting individuals.
Verify the identity of anyone claiming to be in the military. Do reverse image searches to check if their photos appear on other websites or profiles online. Pimeyes.com, with its face recognition technology, is one great site for doing such image searches. 2. Widowed.
He obtained my sympathy by alleging his wife died of cancer 6 years prior, creating a narrative of loss and solitude. This claim aims to garner sympathy and make the scammer appear vulnerable and in need of support, setting a foundation for future emotional manipulation.
Be cautious of early and intense emotional stories meant to elicit sympathy. If their life story feels overly tragic, or seems like a script, consider that a red flag. 3. Family background.
He claimed to be virtually alone in the world, with only his mother and son remaining, painting a picture of isolation. Scammers claim a lack of close family ties, to avoid the need for you to speak with relatives who could expose their deceit.
Watch out for inconsistencies in their family stories, or a complete absence of close family connections that can be verified. 4. Video chat restrictions.
Citing security reasons, he avoided video calls to conceal his true identity. He eventually staged a brief, fake video call to alleviate my suspicions. Avoiding video calls helps scammers hide their true identity. Staging brief or poor quality video calls is a tactic to keep the illusion without revealing too much. When I eventually became suspicious that he might be a conman, I expressed my interest in communicating with his mother and son. This was my way of confirming whether he was telling me the truth or not. After a few days of asking for his mother's telephone number so that I could call her, she reached out to me via text message. Or rather, that is what the fraudster wanted me to believe. However, I suspected that it was the fraudster himself, texting me from a different number, pretending to be his own mother. When I pushed further and asked for a video chat with her, the fraudster went to great lengths, to get an elderly woman to pose as his mother on a video call with me. That, however, was the confirmation I needed, that I was indeed being deceived, as the woman I was chatting with was clearly African, based on her appearance and accent, but his mother was supposed to be American.
Insist on multiple, clear, 10 to 15 minute, interactive video calls. The refusal to conduct video calls under normal conditions is a significant warning sign of a scam. 5. Secret missions.
He faked participation in covert military operations to justify sudden absences and limited communication. This tactic is used to justify why they cannot provide details about their location or activities, maintaining an aura of mystery and urgency.
Be skeptical of anyone who uses secretive or urgent situations as a reason for irregular contact or inability to meet. 6. Child connection.
By mentioning his 11-year-old son, he aimed to strike an emotional chord, knowing my own status as a parent. Mentioning a child, especially one in need or distress, plays directly on one's emotions and is designed to quickly deepen the bond.
Remain alert when children are mentioned in ways that seem designed to create an immediate emotional connection. 7. Financial inaccessibility.
He made up a scenario of losing access to his bank accounts, setting the stage for a financial plea. Scammers create scenarios like lost bank cards or frozen accounts to rationalize why they cannot access their money and might need financial help in the near future.
Never agree to send money to someone you've only met online, no matter the reason they give. 8. Son's health issues.
His stories about his son's medical condition and the inability to afford treatment were designed to manipulate me into offering financial assistance. This specific lie targets one's sympathy and willingness to help, especially if a person is a parent, and might relate to the distress of a sick child.
Approach requests for medical assistance with skepticism. Scammers often exploit emotions by fabricating urgent medical emergencies to solicit money. Be cautious if someone you've only met online asks for financial help for medical bills, surgeries, or treatments. Verify the authenticity of their claims through independent sources, and never send money without concrete evidence. It's important to remember that legitimate charities and medical institutions have official channels for donations and assistance. Always trust your instincts and seek advice from friends or family if something feels off. 9. Medical emergency.
Claiming a serious injury, he sought to deepen my concern and emotional investment, paving the way for financial manipulation. One night, after not hearing from him for a few hours, I was hit with the most emotional lie of all lies. "Hello," his message read simply. Yet it was the ensuing conversation that plunged me into a whirlpool of emotions. "I fainted," was his alarming reply to my casual greeting. The words hit me like a cold splash of water. Concern quickly flooded my thoughts. He went on to describe a sudden pain at the back of his head and blackout, attributing it to high stress levels. He was vague about the details, saying he found himself in the infirmary ICU with no memory of how he got there. My concern deepened with each message, my imagination filling in the gaps of his story with worry and fear for his well-being. His narrative was convincing, his vulnerability evident. I offered my support as much as I could, going as far as to pray for him. Little did I know, he was simply working to get me totally emotionally invested in him, as I had agreed to assist with his son's medical bills in the coming days.
A sudden severe medical issue is a crisis scam, designed to exploit your care and urgency to help someone you believe is in real danger. Be cautious of any urgent requests for money, particularly for overseas medical services. Verify the story through other sources if possible. Also bear in mind that anyone requesting money of you online, that you have never met in person, is most likely a scammer. 10. Professed Love.
The ultimate lie. His declarations of love were merely a means to an end, exploiting my feelings for financial gain. Although I did not believe him when he said he loved me after 2 months without even meeting me in person, I was intrigued by the thought of being desired by this adorable man. I was open to the possibility of exploring love with him, not knowing that I was totally being fooled.
Declarations of love serve to blind you to inconsistencies and oddities in their story. This emotional manipulation is central to romance scams. Be wary of anyone who professes love unusually quickly or intensely. Emotional investment can cloud judgment, so try to remain objective and listen to concerns from friends and family. By understanding these tactics and remaining vigilant, you can protect yourself from falling victim to romance scams. Always approach online relationships with a level of skepticism, until the person's identity and story are thoroughly verified. If you have not read Ava's story, get a copy on Amazon today, by clicking on the link in the description. It is available for Kindle and Kindle app. Read it free, with Kindle Unlimited membership. Also, please feel free to add any lies you have been told, or know that others have been told, by a romance scammer, that were not mentioned in this video, in the comment section below. Let's spread awareness together.
Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day, and remember, people can say anything behind a computer screen and keyboard, so trust no one online, until they have been vetted and confirmed as authentic. Stay safe and stay informed. If you found value in this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more.